For many individuals behind bars, there is little hope. Society gave up on them a long time ago, and so did their family and friends. Some even gave up on themselves. With little hope for a brighter future, they'll likely return to their old paths. The paths that led them to prison again and again. In South Africa, that's what 75% of them do. And every time they return, another crime has been committed, another heart broken, or worse, others influenced to follow their paths. And unless we do something to change it, things are just going to get worse. One man, however, believes change is possible, not just for the one, but for the thousands. And he's made it his mission to see the vision through. Let's join him in this journey. Let's all take a stand to see change in this country. Hope for our land.
The first time I visited a prison, I didn't see the hardened, violent criminals that we're so used to seeing on our TV sets. I saw broken, hurting, and lost individuals, and I wanted to do whatever I could to help them. 2 years later, I was spending 4 to 5 days a week in Pollsmoor Prison, and still I felt that we weren't even touching the tip of the iceberg.
Welcome. This is Truth Radio. Truth Radio.
PDA, hit me!
It was then that Marius came up with the idea of starting a radio station. But with no support to speak of and his only equipment a CD Walkman, it seemed like a dream destined for failure.
Initially, he started with nothing, he hadn't had any proper equipment or anything.
Undeterred by these circumstances, Marius went ahead and launched PRS-1, now known as Truth Radio, in August 1999. It was a bold undertaking and met with much resistance. But in those early days, 1,700 juvenile offenders got to hear music and messages specifically tailored for them.
Since Marius has introduced the radio station, it has calmed down, the inmates are peaceful.
What I can say is it's inspiring, it makes your eyes open, makes you see the light.
Through the radio, it changed my life a lot.
And that's what I've said, that he played an extremely big role in the whole rehabilitation process.
Since then, things have changed considerably. Truth Radio is now just one division of a multifaceted multimedia non-profit organization called Prison Broadcasting Network. With so much untapped talent in prison, one of the services on offer from Prison Broadcasting Network in the early days was training in songwriting and music production.
It's not publicly released, but presently released, but I'm happy.
These songs would then be broadcast on Truth Radio to encourage other offenders to get involved in their own rehabilitation process.
I think one of the most unique elements of this organization is that we utilize offenders to reach offenders.
Just gone 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Dean Clark for Truth Radio. Welcome to the show. Well, I was an inmate. I was on the receiving end of what other inmates are hearing now. It had an effect on me. I'm sure it's having an effect on other people.
DJ Pro, what's up in Doni? Coming to you live. When I joined the Truth Radio, I thought maybe I'm only here to learn the skills about presenting. But when I get here, it was something different.
Confidence, computer literacy, you'd learn a rehabilitated outlook on getting back into the world.
My show was called I Remember, and I remember one of the shows I was talking about going to the beach and eating sun-toasted sandwiches and eating watermelon, and it was a time to escape my reality and be close to home, and I hope that my shows did that for other people as well.
I have been here. I know what it's like. And while I was here, it wasn't the most pleasant place to be. On the other hand, being in prison gives you a whole lot of time to think about what it is you've done, what it is that you're doing right now, what it is that you're going to do.
Today, the radio station broadcasts to 7,000 offenders with facilities to broadcast to every prison in the country and stream globally via the web.
A couple of weeks ago, I was at the Correctional Services office in Cape Town, and this guy who I've never met before, also an ex-prisoner, asked me, "Is your name not Shireen Constable? I used to listen to your shows." And I was like, wow, like somebody actually listened to me.
And just after 8 o'clock, we will be reading out your dedications. And I think we might just take your dedications at roughly around 7:30.
Okay, Carl, who do you want to send a message to?
I discovered there are people, they have dreams, they're passionate, they aspire to be something better than they are now. So my interactions with them has sort of like diluted some of the preconceptions I had.
Reminding you that tonight we have a new system, intercom system, and if you guys want to listen to the music, you can press the button for 5 seconds.
But the radio station was just the stepping stone to the bigger picture. With Marius' 13-year background in the film and television industries, it was always in his heart to launch a television station for offenders by offenders. But lack of funds always prevented him from doing so. In 2007, Marius got the word that Correctional Services would be installing television networks in 66 prisons in the country. This opened an even more powerful platform by which to reach offenders en masse. The time was now right to launch the television division, and with much personal sacrifice, he purchased their first television broadcast camera.
We need to give them real employable skills. We don't want to just teach them how to make home movies. And so we need to use industry standard broadcast equipment.
In January 2008, Prison Broadcasting Network launched their television production training division. The first offender students were enrolled. Prison Broadcasting Network now produces a half-hour television series called New Day, by offenders for offenders.
New Day recently met up with a young man to talk about some of the things that keeps him anchored.
The content ranges from sports items to family dedications.
Hi, I'm Habiba. I just want to send a dedication.
There is also a slot for correctional officers to encourage the working together between the offenders and correctional services.
The emphasis in all of our programs is on relevancy. If we want offenders to watch and to listen to life-changing messages, then we have to give them things that will appeal to them.
The bulk of the program is made up of inserts on specific offenders who have embraced the rehabilitation process and who are making positive changes in their lives.
What did this radio station mean to me? What does it mean to me? It gave me that confidence that I lost when the medicine said you're guilty.
Crime does not pay.
In November 2008, New Day was broadcast for the first time to offenders throughout the newly installed television network in Pollsmoor Prison.
Well, here we are. This is the very first time that we're broadcasting a New Day, and it's a very exciting day today.
It was a resounding success. In 10 years, Prison Broadcasting Network has come a long way. But in many respects, we have only just begun. Our vision for the future includes establishing a dedicated prison television channel, building a broadcasting center, and launching an outside video production house that will employ ex-offender students. But we can't do it alone.
Hi there, I'm David Mocker. I'm an international surf ski paddler. I've been supporting the Prison Broadcast Network for 3 years now. The reason that I believe in what the Prison Broadcast Network is doing in Pollsmoor prison and in the future in prisons in South Africa is that it addresses the situation of crime in our country right at the heart. If you consider that every prisoner or most prisoners in today's prisons will be on the streets again one day, it just makes so much sense to me that we should be trying to change their morals and change them for the good in the prisons where they're at, instead of it becoming a vicious cycle or a downward spiral. The Prison Broadcast Network does this, and I believe that it is a worthwhile thing to support.
With your support and partnership, the dreams and vision of Prison Broadcasting Network will one day be realized. And so too, the dreams of our nation. Changing just one life will make a difference to countless others. Changing thousands of people's lives will change the course of history.
This is Charlie from Jars of Clay, and you're listening to Truth Radio.
Hey, this is Michael Mull here from Top Billing. You're listening to Truth Radio in Pollsmoor Prison. God bless you guys.